today's video, we've got new wheels for Noisy Boy. So, a little bit of backstory behind this. I did have a matching set of wheels for this car. They were just some off-branded thing. I think the brand was G2 or something like that. I picked them up second-hand. They were chrome and they had peeling on them, so I had them powder-coated, and they looked really good until one day I had an accident on track. Well, I wouldn't call it an accident so much. I was drifting at Queensland Raceway around turn 6. If you've been there, then that'll make sense to you. And as you get to the outside of the track, it kind of dips, and usually people are dropping off and basically creating a bit of a rut around there. And then all of a sudden, concrete starts again. So there was a blurb about this, and I broke one of the wheels clean in half. So I'll throw a couple of photos up of that now. I was actually really impressed. It shows, I guess, that's what you get. Yeah, push the limits and things happen. But anyway, from then I'd had those wheels just on the front, and I'd been using just whatever I had on the rears. That's fine, but the one thing that always annoyed me was whenever I saw videos or photos from Matsuris or other drift events, always kind of annoyed me that the matching wheels weren't matching anymore. So I decided to bite the bullet, and I bought a couple of sets of some wheels. So before we look at them, we'll look at what was on the car. So these are the wheels that were on the car. So they're on the rear now just because I knew that I was going to buy wheels, so I decided to shred the tyres off of them. But they're not a terrible looking wheel. As I said before, they are called G2 is the brand. And the model of them is called 106. I know, very creative. But anyway, they look pretty good. These were actually chrome. I picked them up secondhand, and all of the chrome on this lip was peeling off, so I had them sandblasted and powder coated. I think this is called Black Onyx. This color had a bit of metallic to it. Actually not too bad. It annoyed me because the wheel nuts actually, I'll pick one of them up here, use this stupid floating washer set up on them. And they were the only one of my wheels that used a stupid wheel nut setup, so I'll be glad to see the end of them. But yeah, fitment wise, they fit okay with the spaces on there. These are an 8.5 plus 20 offset, and I was running 30mm spaces, so bit of perspective. Car's in the air, but had a little bit of poke, and by the time it was on the ground, camber would push them up inside the guards, and they fit pretty good. But enough of that, we'll have a look at what the new wheels are. Okay, cool, so time for an unboxing. If you hadn't already figured out, these are Rota wheels. The model of them is the Grid R. I did want to buy genuine wheels for this originally, but I looked at the price of actual Volt T37 super laps, and for 4 of them was like $3,500 plus shipping in Australia here. And at this point in my career with the drifting, that's a little bit more than I'm willing to swallow, considering I end up buying 8 wheels, and I'll probably end up buying a few more in the future. That way I can always have matching sets of wheels on the car, hopefully. I picked these up from a company in Western Australia. They're called Vision R. They were actually really good to deal with, and turnaround time was actually amazing. I rang them about these last Friday, and he shipped them, and they are here exactly a week later on Friday. So that's pretty good to get from one side of the country to the other in a week. I was pretty impressed. So wheel specs, I end up going with the 18 by 9.5 plus 18 for the fronts, and the rear we are 10 plus 15. So hopefully that'll fill out our guards really nice. We'll try and stretch some 245 4018s on there, I reckon. But enough jibber jabbering with that. Let's open these up. Okay, let's see how good these things are packaged. I'm assuming vary by the look of everything so far. Spin this so you get a better look. Nice cardboard top cover, and a little bra covering the wheel, and that's it. So no pack and foam or anything, but they've turned up in good condition. So this is the 9.5 here. So I think this color is called Speed Bronze. Looks pretty nice in my opinion. But the ones I'm actually excited about are the next ones. So got a little bit of concave to them there. They look good on the front. So let's check out the 10s and see how much of a difference there is in the offset and concave. One would assume the exact same experience with opening this box up. And one would be correct. So cardboard lid, and the little bra that covers it. So there we go. I don't know how easy this is to spot on camera, but you can see there's actually quite a substantial increase there in the concave of it, I suppose, or a little bit dusty, which is odd. But yeah, they look good. I'm super pleased with that. So just for comparison, that's the concave. They've still got quite a bit of concave actually on the 9.5s, but the 10.5, you can see there, there's just that little bit more sweep to it, and it'll really enhance the look of the car, I reckon. So let's try and mock one of these up and see how it looks. All right, you can see there that these tyres were actually pretty garbage. They were brand new Bridgestone Turanzas. I got recommended to run these and they were garbage, so they just de-lambed within a couple of laps. So I won't be buying those ever again, but we'll yeet that out of the way. And just like magic, it looks like someone pulled this off before. So I don't try and do any YouTube trickery or anything like that. I have had this off before, and now it's time to throw one of the wheels on though and see how it looks. Okay. If my measurements are correct, we shouldn't have any fouling. Just finger a couple of these nuts, just so the wheel don't fall off. Nice. So let's check out this offset. Alright, so I'm assuming, well, it's probably a bit more there than there was before, so these will poke out slightly further than last time, but I still reckon that that'll poke up within the guards. Excuse the dirty paintwork and everything. This thing's been worked on for quite a few months and hasn't seen a bath in a long time. But sorry about the garbage backlighting. Never mind, backlighting's fixed. So yeah, that's them on the car. They look pretty cool. I dig the colour quite a bit actually. So trying to pan back to get a better view. So yeah, check that out. So the next step from here is I'll go get some tyres. I'm thinking 245 4018s probably fit the bill for these. So give me a sec and I'll get that sorted. And here we have it, the magic of video editing. So that's them there. End up picking up some Blade Dynamos. I just went to Jack's Tyres and got basically whatever they had on the shelf. Had to pay a bit more than I usually like just for cheap tyres, but it'll help us get it on there so we can get this thing rolling around again and looking good. So yeah, I actually think that that stretch on there is not too bad. I'm thinking I'll probably end up running 245s on the front, but I mean, we probably could get away even with 235s on that. I'd want to try and protect the lip on these a little bit and it's sort of flush with it, so 235s probably would make that lip poke out a little bit. So I don't know, I'll have a think about that one. Maybe in the future I will run 235 or 255s, but time will tell. So we'll throw these things on the car. So would you look at that?
Oh, would you look at that?
Put that
just
on.
Look at that.
I can't pull it out either. I'd have to drill it.
Would you just look at it?
So that looks pretty good, I reckon. Poke wise, we're poking out probably 15-20 mil, so I reckon it's probably only 5 mil at max, more than it was before. So by the time that wheel goes up into the well and the camber pulls it in, I reckon that will fit quite nicely. So I won't bore you too much with throwing the rest of them on. I'll do all of that off camera. We'll roll this thing outside, wash it, and see how it looks in the daylight with all the wheels on the car. So let's do it. Okay, so just a bit of a quick hose off, so it's semi-clean, but figured I'd go through the car wash later. But I think that turned out really nice actually, even better than I thought. So I end up getting, well, I ended up putting the 10-inch wheels on the front just because I didn't want to buy some random tyre for steer wheels, so I'm going to order semi-slicks for the 9.5s, but it gives you a pretty good example of exactly how it's going to look. So this is currently 10 rear and front. Bit of a pan around. Yeah, so they sit nicely. So I actually run quite a lot of camber in the front because I've got adjustable camber arms in this. You can probably see there, yeah, red control arms. But yeah, normally they would poke out quite a bit more, but you can see there's quite a bit of camber to that there. So yeah, hopefully this helps other people out with picking wheels for their car. So I rolled the fenders on the rear and the front just with like an eBay guard roller. Nothing too crazy. I think they're about 150 bucks or something like that. So yeah, that's worked out sweet. So I'll throw this thing back in the shed so I can finish working on it so it can go for a tune later in the week. So that'll be a wrap for this video, I reckon. Super happy with how those wheels came out. That fitment is on point, I reckon. And the color scheme works really, really well. So I actually wasn't going to get the bronze originally. I was looking at like a gunmetal metallic sort of color. And I saw these and thought, that might work. And well, it did, didn't it? The contrast between the bronze and the blue makes the car just pop even more. Hopefully that means that we get noticed a little bit more on track and it doesn't just blend in with all the other cars there. So, next video. So this week coming, cars finally hitting the dyno again. So we're getting a retune on 98 just because we've changed and we've added that intercooler and we've got the extractors on the car now. And then it's going to be getting the big improvement with that E85 flex fuel tune. So I'm excited to see what kind of numbers we get out of that. And I'm sure a lot of you are too. So we'll leave that at that. I've got a few more things to do before this thing heads off, so I better get into it. So thanks for watching and I'll catch you next time.